Hey everyone! So it's time to see how Polina's route is different. So let's just jump straight into it.
Я сама не поверила, но Лилия Павловна на работу не вышла.
So we start straight away talking to Polina, okay? I couldn't believe it at first, but Lilia Pavlovna didn't come to work today.
Контрольная отменяется.
The test is off. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. Was. Yeah, we know what happened to her. Katya, the first girl in our class whose body started maturing, to the envy of all the other female students. The main source of gossip, a snake, and a bitch. I continued scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and two small figures, flying between the treetops and the full moon. Shivers ran up to my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there was still something evil weighing me down. The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding something horrible under a mask of piousness. They. Culprit. They. Okay.
А что ты рисуешь?
What are you drawing? Embarrassed, I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figures above the
Да
forest.
ничего, так, дурака валяю.
Nothing really, just fooling around. Polina put her elbows on the desk. Okay, this is kinda going similar so far, with, without Basha and Romka. I had already forgotten how light and graceful she was, just like a violin. I wish she could also jump around with us after stripping away her mask of fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flapping in the wind, the stars sparkling all around us, her asking in a bewilderment whether it is all a dream, and myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again.
Ужасно еще и то, что Катю мне жалеть сложно. Я правда ищу в себе сострадание, но вспоминаю ее поступки и...
Well, small notice, because I already heard this, I think, twice already, and recorded it. I won't read those lines. Polina shook her head.
Я чудовище, да?
Maybe we'll figure out more in this playthrough. No, I thought, you're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met. I decided not to say that out loud.
Плохо, наверное, что исчезновение анкеты расстроило меня больше, чем пропажа одноклассницы.
So, on Elisa's route, he was actually saying that she's only number 2, after Elisa. Makes sense.
Ты потеряла анкету?
Да, и кто-то сейчас читает чужие секреты.
Still wondering if this is actually somehow gonna play out. Yes, the forest, I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with their icy twigs.
Надеюсь, ее найдут.
Yeah. Still not clear if she's talking about Katya or the notebook. I wasn't sure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Polina's intense stare directed at me.
Что?
Ты будто изменился.
I smoothed my hair flat, surprised.
Просто не выспался.
I just didn't sleep well tonight.
Сегодня ты точно какая-то другая мелодия. Очень древняя, таинственная.
Yeah, the same. I thought about the flute's melody, streaming between the bushy treetops.
Надеюсь, ты никому не рассказал про наш вчерашний разговор?
Что ты?
She nodded as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I wasn't sure whether I merited such trust. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying toward the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic. At that moment, I felt Biasha's piercing stare. He was clearly watching us. And yeah, probably this is how majority of the difference is gonna be. I took my glasses off so I wouldn't be able to see his nasty smirk. Oh, the flashbacks. Dang it. Yet a picture of Romka's knife gleamed before my mind's eye. My palms became sweaty. Knees are weak, you know. I assume we're going to see Romka's knife for sure.
Опять уснул?
Did you fall asleep again?
Полина.
Tell her, a voice in my head whispered to me. And to hell with the consequences.
Кажется, Ромка на тебя глаз положил.
I think Romka has his eyes on you.
Думаешь, я не знаю?
You think I don't know?
Откуда?
But how? Like, dude, it's obvious.
Считай, это моя интуиция.
Let's say it's my intuition.
Только вот Пятифанов мне безразличен.
But I don't care about Pitifanov at all. That wonderful news made me more confident.
Мне кажется, ему не хватит мозгов, чтобы завоевать тебя.
I think he lacks the brains to win your attention. Polina flashed me an alluring smile.
Хорошо, что у меня есть ты.
It's a good thing I have you then.
А может, погуляем после уроков?
Want to go for a walk after school?
Дедушка чувствует себя лучше. Я могу задержаться вечером.
Okay, I think it was kinda like the same. I signed my death sentence when I replied.
Конечно, давай.
Тогда до встречи.
And probably not only with Polina. She leaned forward and looked at me with her piercing eyes again. Then mumbled, as if guessing.
Что-то из мусорского? Нет, пожалуй.
That was said differently. She left, and in her place, Romka's underling started drilling me with his eyes. His thumb slid under his Adam's apple as if saying, "You're dead." The bell rang. The rest of the classes flew by, and I was finally able to leave the school. From the main entrance, dude? Small whirlwinds rushed across the schoolyard like spinning tops. Big white flakes fell from the sky. Streetlights gleamed in the semi-dark. Their shine crystallized in the cold, became firm and pointy. A dog whined in the distance, making me think of poor Romka. Polina stood at the school steps. The wind played with her hair.
Я уже отвык от городского шума. Здесь всегда так тихо.
I've already forgotten the city's bustle. This place is so tranquil.
О, а я мечтаю о какофонии.
Okay, they were actually talking about that as well, but in a different scenario. Oh, and I dream of that cacophony.
А чё?
Caco what? My companion burst out laughing.
Какофония — это случайное сочетание звуков.
Cacophony is the chaotic mixture of sounds.
Дедушка учит находить мелодию во всем.
Yeah.
Он, наверное, классный.
He's creepy.
Не то слово. Скоро я вас познакомлю.
Ты меня в гости приглашаешь?
А ты против?
Okay, so on Alisa's route, when we actually got to Polina's house, they were talking about that same lines when they were going already, and here they're just standing, like they're waiting for Romka to appear, and have some problems with him. And here we freaking go. Yeah, told ya. A nasty whistle swept across the yard, interrupting me. Two silhouettes materialized from the snowfall, hands inside their pockets and heads kept low. The way that tough duo walked toward us didn't bode well for me.
А ну руки убрал от нее, живо!
Get your hands off her, now.
Полин, ты как? Он тебя не тронул?
Lol. You alright, Polina? Did he harm you?
Мы все видели, на!
We saw it, eh?
Видели что?
So what?
Что ты ее в лес вести собрался, психопат? Как Катьку.
Bro, that's like why? That you were going to lead her into the forest, you psycho, just like Katya.
В последний момент успели, на.
We got here in the nick of time, eh? It's like kind of funny that on Alisa's route, he was playing alone with them, pretending to be a psycho, and here they're just like blaming him straight up that he's a psycho. Polina's frustrated voice flew across the yard like a bird.
Да что вы мелите?
What's wrong with you two?
А ты не в курсе?
Haven't you heard?
Как только этот чепушила сюда переехал, сразу народ стал пропадать.
As soon as this S-wife moved here, people started to go missing. Yeah, bro, you really shouldn't say that to a person that could actually do that, right? You BSing.
Ага, я вот сам видел, как он вчера Катю провожать вызвался и в лес уволок.
Yeah, right, that makes no sense. Unless that actually happened and we will have like a huge revelation. Yeah, I saw him offer Katya to walk her home and drag her into the forest yesterday with my own eyes. I tried to retort.
Врешь! Я эту Катьку терпеть не мог.
Lies. I hated Katya.
А, вот потому ее и грохнул.
Well, probably he shouldn't say that. Yeah. That's exactly why you offed her.
Все сходится на.
Makes sense, eh? I was taken aback by this injustice. The only positive here was the fact that Romka and Vyasha made for terrible actors. Their lies were C at best, C minus at best, if I were to rate them.
Повезло тебе, что мы с ментами не икшаемся.
You're lucky we don't deal with the cops.
А то бы с радостью тебя маньяка сдали.
Or we would happily reported your murdering ass.
Ничего. Ща проведем с ним воспитательную беседу на.
It's okay, we're about to have a serious talk with him, eh?
Держи его!
Grab him. Oh god, his smile. Romka moved toward me, smirking.
Значит, Катя тебе не нравилась, да?
So you didn't like Katya, huh?
Конечно. Кто еще мог ее порешить?
Well, of course, who else could have offed her?
Ты, например.
You could. Straight in his face. I looked at Polina in amazement. Romka froze in place with his fists raised.
В смысле?
What do you mean?
Катя, при всем уважении, никого не любила.
Let's be honest, Katya didn't particularly like anybody.
Думаешь, Рома, она про тебя сплетни не распускала?
Do you think she wasn't spreading rumors behind your back, Roma?
Что твой отец в тюрьме сидел, что он тебя бьет?
Oh, wow. We're actually gonna reveal some more about Romka. About your dad's jail time, about him hitting you all the time. Romka's face turned red and he started flapping his lips like a fish out of water. Polina continued speaking in a voice that rang with anger.
А ты, Бяша, сам-то где вчера вечером пропадал?
And you, Basha, where were you yesterday evening?
Катя говорила, что ты с приветом стал, как на черный гараж наткнулся.
Katya said you had a few screws loose ever since you encountered the black garage. Oh, he started losing it, yeah. Basha retreated, his face became deadly, white in the cavity of his hood.
Так может, это ты тот психопат, что Катю украл?
Oh god. She's awesome here. Maybe the psycho who kidnapped Katya then. I actually like the music. Basha let out a voice that almost turned into a squeal. I mean, I definitely like all the music here, but this is just like more my style. So cool. Then he turned around and wobbled his way toward the gate, shaking his head. Wow, I thought. She dealt with Basha so easily.
Что, один остался? Ромео недоделанный.
Well, what now, wannabe Romeo?
Какую еще гнусность выдумаешь, чтобы меня удивить? М?
What other nasty lie will you come up with to surprise me, eh? Roma gulped, clearly discouraged.
Цирк устроить хотел? Героем представиться?
I actually like the parallels between two different paths. What's up with this nonsense? Did you want to play hero?
Только вот не ведут себя так герои.
Heroes don't act like this.
И актер ты, Рома, липовый.
And boy, you're a poor actor, Roma.
Да этот очкарик.
Listen, this Four Eyes
Во всем лучше тебя.
is better than you in every way. She said that and did the most astonishing thing. She grabbed my hand.
Пойдем, Антон.
Let's go, Anton. We passed the stunned Romka. I felt somewhat bad for him, but I also obviously felt immense joy. He didn't stop us. Just stood there and stared into the growing blizzard. Okay, now there's only one thing. I'm pretty sure if the rest of this episode, like the way the things go in Polina's place, there is a chance we'll see Romka again. And it will be 1v1. Or maybe with Vyasha, then it will be even worse. Then we crossed the gates, I jumped up and exclaimed,
Как ты его?
"That was so cool!" Polina flashed me an embarrassed smile.
Ну, знаешь, как дедушка говорит, с волками жить, по волчьи выть.
You know, as Grandpa always say, you live with the wolves, you howl like
Он
one.
у тебя философ.
He sounds like a philosopher.
Краевед. Был раньше.
Okay, yeah, that's
Он уже
same.
давно на пенсии, а в последнее время ему серьезно не здоровится.
I gave her an empathetic nod. I kept sneaking glances at Polina. She was like a precious gem, its eyes gleaming, shimmering, changing ever so slightly. What, her eyes? Full of innocent laughter asked me. Nothing, I replied without speaking.
Ты храбрый. Мне нравится.
Well, right here you actually were the brave one.
Храбрый? Стоял там, язык проглотив.
I'm brave, but I just stood there, dead silent.
Стоял же, не сбежал.
True, but you didn't run.
Я до сих пор поражаюсь, как ты нашел в себе смелость послать, а тем более ударить Бабурина.
I'm still amazed that you found the courage to talk back, not to mention hit Babruin.
Ради тебя я готов на многое.
I'm willing to do a lot for you.
Вот, я же говорю.
See, I told you.
Изъясняешься словами из романов.
That expression was straight out of some novel,
Ради
yeah.
тебя, моя госпожа.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Polina started giggling. I fake pouted but couldn't keep myself from smiling in the end. I mean, it's kind of the same, but like the whole atmosphere is a bit more intimate, because like even though on Alisa's route during the scene he was also crashing on her, but here feels a bit, I don't know, more real. The village looked abandoned, desolate. Rickety fences, ravines full of garbage. This place probably looks nice in the summer since it's full of greenery, but during winter, under the icy crust, under the snowy blanket, dogs barked and clanged their chains behind the fences, but they grew quiet the moment we reached the next house.
Представь, что это призраки цепями звенят.
Yeah,
О,
okay, the
я
same.
обожаю сказки про призраков. Дедушка часто мне их рассказывает.
She stopped in front of a small but cozy-looking house with a snow-covered roof, then put her hand in the small gate. Her eyes piercing me as if trying to peek into the depths of my soul.
Вот я все вспоминаю дедушку. Говорю, какой он хороший, заботливый, умный. Но это только половина правды. В последнее время он немного...
Yeah, he's kinda crazy. She paused, searching for the right words.
чудной. Да, пожалуй.
I kinda hope we'll reveal a bit more about her grandpa in this gameplay, cause he's suspicious. I mean, he can actually have some connections to what is going on.
Стал таким с годами. Так что ничему не удивляйся.
Так точно, ничему не удивляться.
Вольно!
Okay, for now I'm just like enjoying the chill part, expecting that something will go horribly wrong. We walked over the house on a thin, clean path. Polina unlocked the door. The long hallway was full of shadows. The door slammed shut behind our backs, cutting us off from the roaring wind and all other outside sounds. The place became so silent that I could hear Polina's heart beating. I wanted to cover it with my hand and feel it with my palm, with my lifelines.
Ты всегда так застываешь?
Do you always freeze like this?
Как будто у тебя в голове стоп-кран нажали.
Yeah, okay,
Фантазия
same.
рисует всякие картинки.
А, понимаю.
She took off her coat and hung it on a wall hook.
Раздевайся, разувайся. Я пока в комнате приберусь. Дедушка, бывает, вещи свои оставляет, где попало. Я быстро.
I assume our conversation with Grandpa, at least here, will be more or less exactly the same. She floated away light as a butterfly. Another butterfly of a steel kind had a real chance of floating inside my gut in the near future. Yeah, like his Romka's knife, it's actually like in Russian it's called like butterfly knife. Maybe in English too. I'm not familiar with such specific words in this language. I took off my coat, untied my shoelaces. A tiny squeak reached my ears. Okay, so I can... Either way. Okay, so I will cut this. I will interact with all the objects again without reading them. I will see maybe there's something new. Okay, this is probably the most important of those ones, because I'm still kind of feeling that there is a connection, right? Like you see all teddy bear and like stuff like this kind of seems creepy. Yeah, I don't see anything else. Wow, there's so much junk here, just like a junk shop. Or like at the village cemetery dump where people throw away plastic flowers, splinters from rotten crosses, and dirty stripes with glided words of condolences. Why did I think Polina's grandpa brought all of this from a cemetery dump? Those don't have toys or a tambourine like in those books about northern shamans. And this? What was it called again? A dream catcher, I think. It didn't catch any dreams, but it did catch a haymaker spider. And the stench. No wonder I can hear flies buzzing in this place, even in the middle of winter. It smells like thawed lard and wet soil. I guess you just get used to it if you stay here long enough. Yeah, okay. So, wait. I looked into the deeper part of the house while taking off my boots. Semi-dark masked the corner at the end of the corridor. Something moved toward me, making me dry floorboard squeak. Wait, making me? Making the squeak, squeak. Yeah, squeak, squeak. The sound grew louder. Here enters Khariton. I realized that I stepped back toward the door without thinking.
Полина!
A wheelchair appeared from around the corner. A stocky-old man protruded from the darkness.
Ты, должно быть, одноклассник моей Полли.
Да, Антон Петров.
We shook hands. His grip was surprisingly firm.
Очень приятно. Очень. А я Харитон. Греческое имя значит «щедрый». А твое имя знаешь, что обозначает?
I'm actually like kind of start to think maybe he's could be the master of forest. His human form. Nah. Probably not. Like his name means like charitable, giving away stuff. Like the forest master actually giving all those candies to children, even though it's apparently not really candies, but okay.
Никогда не задумывался.
От латинского «антео» — тот, кто вступает в бой.
And this is actually kind of true to the story because Anton has to go to fight against all those animals. I chuckled in reply. Apparently my name has brave
А
roots.
Полина?
Polina.
Полина французского происхождения. Если не ошибаюсь, солнечная.
Well, I don't really have a theory for her. Well, I still think she might be Alisa, but of course, the sunlight, the enchanting views of France, the Parisian sky, all of that sounded like
Вы
Polina.
так много знаете об именах.
Я каждой своей кукле особенное имя давал.
Кукле?
Полина не рассказывала? Я же кукловодом работал при театре. Потом сторож с сигаретой тлеющей уснул, сам погиб, и театр сгорел до основания.
I wonder if he actually was both a puppeteer and like a local historian, or someone is not telling the truth.
Куклы мои сгорели.
Жаль.
I was pretty sure that Polina told me her grandpa was a local historian. He squinted.
А знаешь ли ты, Петров Антон, что в старину у людей два имени было? Настоящее и то, что они называли незнакомцем. Считалось, что подлинное имя, попав к нехорошим людям, могло обернуться против человека.
I wonder if this is actually a crucial part, crucial information.
По имени насылали хвори и даже смерть.
Ого.
It would be cool if actually like somehow Anton will figure out the true name of the forest master.
Вот тебе и ого! И зверям имена придумывали не просто так. Заяц от литовского «зайсти», прыгун, то есть, а волк — старославянское «влек», тот, кто таскает.
Yeah, this is the same so far. Hariton drove closer and crossed his hands on his chest. I wondered to myself where Polina's parents were. She never spoke about her mom, only about her grandpa. I decided to ask a question to continue the
А
conversation.
медведь?
О, имя медведя неизвестно. Наши предки так боялись этого зверя, что предпочли забыть слово, которым его величали. Оно просто сгинуло из языка. Вместо него осталось более позднее прозвище — «Ведающий медом».
Yeah, this is actually kind of the theory about his name
Интересно.
in Russian. Sounds interesting. The old man's smile became wider, revealing a stockade of metal implants. He raised his hand and waved it in the air like a rake that was scratching at empty space.
Скирлы, скирлы, скирлы.
This thing became such a meme, I think. The squeaking sound made me shrink instinctively.
То я медведь на липовой ноге, на березовой все по селам
sorry?
спят, по деревням спят.
I actually wanted to see this thing for a sec. Okay. Oh, okay. Actually, I'm not sure if I remember this one.
Одна баба не спит, на моей коже сидит. Мою шерстку придет, мое мяско жрет.
There's a lot of flesh and meat related stuff here. If this was what Polina warned me about, I had already broken my promise. It's not like I got surprised, more like I became seriously concerned.
По легенде, именно в нашей деревне приключилась эта страшная сказка, как и многие другие.
Well, now I kinda wondering if this is actually true.
Вот, к примеру, в прошлом веке простому люду тяжко пришлось. Денег у них тогда мало было, а еды и того меньше, точь-в-точь, как сейчас. Подались тогда крестьяне разбойничать, тайгу обворовывать, кто карася ухватит, а кто и гуся. А главный егерь мало того, что не препятствовал, так еще в первых рядах браконьерствовал.
I'm trying to think like if this is just a story or it's somehow connected to what is going on in this episode.
Самым зажиточным стал на селе. Погреб того и гляди лопнет. Так и кричал егерь на всю округу: «Я в лесу хозяин». Обзавелся он, значит, семьей, слугами, да каким-никаким имением. И на радостях пир закатил горой аж до самой ночи. А как 12 пробило, собаки залаяли. «Идите, — кричит егерь слугам, — собакам кости бросьте». Через время в ворота застучали. «Идите, — кричит семье, — гостей прогоните». Остался он за столом один. Никто воротиться не спешит. Слышит, собаки завыли и смолкли. И тут со страшной силой в дверь забарабанили. Бах, бах, бах!
He's a good storyteller. I licked my parched lips and instinctively looked over the old man's shoulder, praying in my mind that Polina would come back soon and interrupt this eerie monologue. Yet only shadows wreathed behind Hariton's back.
Егерь от страха едва живой в погреб помчался. Замком щелк, в вдруг голос из-за двери. «Милый, это я, жена твоя, отвори! В жизнь не открою!»
Yeah, that's
Голос
creepy.
стал грубее, напористее. «Изголодалась я, любимый, дай хоть чего-то из закромов!» «Уйди, уйди, Христом заклинаю!» — закричал егерь и упал молиться. Тогда голос, как гром, грянул. «Целиком не выйдешь, хоть кусок мне отрежь!» Егерь вне себя от ужаса просидел в подвале до первых петухов. А как показаться отважился, то нашел своих слуг и родных
Yeah.
повешенными на собственных кишках вдоль тракта. Глядь, а в имении уже дикие звери хозяйничают.
3. I'm still wondering why there is no fox.
Потому что нету тайги границ. Она частично в нашем мире, отчасти там, где ночь никогда не кончается.
Okay, this is probably the most important part of the story.
Егерь пытался, сломя голову, бежать из проклятой деревни, но истинный хозяин леса настиг.
Oh, yeah. This part. I spoke in a shaky voice.
Что же с ним сделал этот хозяин леса?
The old man tilted his head and burst out laughing.
Спроси лучше, чего он не сделал.
He's so happy to tell the story. He's suspicious. The old man's eyes pinned me to the door leaf.
Антон, проходи в комнату.
The old man stayed silent for a moment. Then he smiled as if nothing ever happened and rolled his wheelchair back.
Ну, заболтал я тебя. Ступай.
Oh god. I brushed off my stupor and minced across the corridor.
Приятно было познакомиться.
И мне, Петров Антон, и мне.
I'll definitely enjoy watching you in a couple of minutes. I felt relieved when I finally slipped into Polina's room. It looked just like its owner, cute and tidy. A huge collection of vinyl records and a record player immediately caught my attention. The walls were adorned by framed photographs.
Дедушка тебя не сильно донимал?
I hope Grandpa wasn't annoying you.
Нет, он очень
Yeah,
интересный.
Небось, ты теперь знаешь все о своем имени.
yeah, it's the same. Rip. Okay, same thing. I will quickly examine this off recording.
А
Okay,
это
and
твои
here we go.
родители?
Polina, look down.
Да. Они погибли много лет назад. Я их практически не помню.
О,
I felt like a total idiot. I could have guessed Polina was an orphan.
мне очень жаль.
Спасибо. Дедушка воспитывал меня как родную дочь. Никогда не устану благодарить его.
Представляю, каково тебе пришлось.
Polina flashed me a sad smile and brushed off a mischievous lock of hair off her face.
Давай не будем о грустном. Познакомься с Джоанной.
I bent down to take a better look at the cat that was snuggled up beside the radiator.
Привет, Джоанна.
She's not friendly, even though like I had a cat like that when I was a kid. They're interesting. The cat hit her tail on the radiator's fence, then hissed, showing her fangs.
Прости, она не особо дружелюбна.
Yeah.
К такой реакции я привык. Что за имя, Джоанна?
Тебе не надоело говорить про имена? Джоанна из сериала «Элена, ребята». Смотрел?
I snorted.
Это для девочек.
Ой, подумаешь, я вот и трансформеров смотрю.
Да ладно, кто твой любимчик?
I kind of thought that would be at least a bit different.
Ты меня проверяешь? Допустим, Мегатрон.
Ага, А говорила, что не любишь плохих парней.
Да, но вот ему удалось растопить мое сердечко.
Polina grabbed at her chest in a comical manner. Polina sat down on the couch and fixed the bedspread.
Чем займемся?
Her pose and playful gaze hypnotized me. Dimmed lights help create a special, exciting atmosphere inside the room. I felt a faint aroma of blackberry, but also something more elusive and captivating. Well, if you saw the first video of episode 4 that I recorded, you know where this is going. At that moment, my usual embarrassment suddenly morphed into some unexplainable vigor. I wanted to show off and brag, to do everything in my power to keep Polina's gaze fixed on me for as long as possible. I imagined myself to be like Agent 007, ready to seduce another femme fatale with his stunning looks. As if mimicking the hero of spy action movies, I crossed my hands on my chest and, with a mysterious smile on my face, decided to lean against the wall. I thought myself to be quite charming at that particular moment. Yeah, that's gonna go. Yet a clanking sound stopped me from enjoying this graceful pose. I failed to notice an open piano and sat down right in the middle of its keys. I had lost all of my charms after almost reaching the ceiling in one scared jump, followed by the instrument's lid slamming shut with a bang. At the same time, a frightened Joanna jumped off the chair. F. The cat rushed up the curtain and then dashed across the wall to the safety of the wardrobe stop, ripping out thin slices of wallpaper along the way. Pieces of a torn-up Sailor Moon poster that, by pure chance, happened to be in the way of the scared animal fell to my feet. Judging from the look on Polina's face, she really liked that poster.
Прости, я не хотел.
She closed her eyes, her lips twisted, and forehead wrinkled. It seemed like Polina was about to scream or cry, but she just sighed and spoke in a calm voice.
Не беда. Нет такой поломки, которую нельзя починить с помощью изоленты. Ну, в этом случае с помощью скотча.
She's so chill.
Давай, помогай.
Yeah, okay. A little mini game. And here we go. The last piece fell in its place, and it seemed like the room's harmony was restored along with the
Это же
poster.
персонаж из Sailor Moon? Sailor Юпитер или как там ее?
Да нет же, это Сейлор Сатурн. Ее зовут Хатару. Она воин разрушения, который вместо того, чтобы уничтожить мир, спасла его.
So now I think maybe this is like a foreshadowing about Alisa. That is actually on the bad side, but she ended up saving the world. In our case, Anton.
Мне она всегда больше всех нравилась.
What do you think about that?
Вот. А еще у нее раздвоение личности, представляешь?
That could also be about
По
Alisa.
крайней мере, было. Джоанна порвала ее на дюжину личностей, не меньше.
I glanced at Polina and inquired in a soft voice.
Расскажи, как проходят твои вечера.
Polina shrugged and looked at me as if bored.
Смотрю телевизор или играю дедушке на скрипке. Он планирует сделать из меня Давида Ойстраха.
Кого?
David who?
Скрипач был такой великий.
А ты что же, сама не хочешь играть?
Почему? Хочу. Это мой шанс уехать в город и начать нормальную жизнь. Гастролировать по странам, знакомиться с новыми людьми.
I felt a sting of stupid jealousy from her
Ты
words.
играешь для меня?
Ты точно этого хочешь?
Очень.
Хорошо. Только учти, я сегодня не в форме.
Yeah, so far it's completely the same. She procured the violin from its case. The polished frame glimmered in the lamplight.
Это необычная скрипка. Ее смастерил в
Мгм.
17 веке скрипичных дел мастер Гварнери, а сам
А бамбузл?
Ойстрах дал на ней первый концерт.
Она дорогая?
Ну, пару миллионов долларов стоит.
My jaw dropped. Polina replied with laughter.
Видел бы ты свое лицо. Я шучу. Копейки она стоит. Если бы у меня была скрипка Гварнери, я бы жила в Москве.
А я и не повелся.
Конечно, конечно.
Polina took a proper playing pose and clutched the violin between her shoulder and jaw, then brought the bow to the strings.
Фа диез минор.
The bow slid across the strings, saturating the air inside the room with music. I sat on the windowsill, amazed at the melody's power. Polina looked so graceful while playing. Her bow soared. It cut open space-time. Her slender fingers moved with inhuman speed. A phantom smile smoldered on the girl's lips. It felt like the music, that mysterious fa diez minor, was akin to a gust of wind that found its way inside the house, bringing along smells of the sea and faraway cities. And every new gust made it even more difficult to breathe for my enthralled self. The melody carried me up to the skies, bringing back memories of that night when I was jumping over the forest. Yeah, this is the same. But just like everything good, it ended way too fast. Polina froze for a moment, then lowered her hand and bowed. The waterfall of her fragrant hair swayed back and forth. Okay, I know. Well, if you saw that episode, you know what's gonna happen. And jumped up, clapping.
Браво! Кто это сочинил?
Роберт Шуман.
А вот кто теперь мой любимый композитор.
Ah, lame.
Во.
The second syllable turned into an incredulous cry when someone wailed under my foot. Joanna. I forgot all about the cat in all my excitement and ended up stepping on her tail. He didn't give me the time to apologize. Joanna crawled up my leg and clung to my thigh. Her sharp claws pierced my skin through the pants. Polina came to my rescue by slapping the cat on the back of her head.
Джоанна, гадость какая, брысь!
I still think like she kinda has this second personality. The cat jumped on the wall, rug and retreated from the room after opening the door with her paw. Oh, that's why the door was open. I winced when touching my thigh. It was probably quite scratched up. Polina gave me a sympathetic hug.
Больно?
Да так, я сам виноват.
Ой, я ей покажу, как бросаться на моих гостей.
I was worried less about the pain and more about the damage done to my clothes. My pants were riddled with tiny holes. Well, Mom sure will be happy about this. At the same time, Polina's attention was flattering.
Твоя Джанна, дама с характером.
Вы поладите. Если ты не умрешь от потери крови, конечно.
Ah, God! This is a foreshadowing to what happened in the other walkthrough, and I hope it won't happen here. She turned around and searched the room with her eyes.
Где-то тут был йод.
Не обязательно.
Что значит не обязательно? Еще никто не умирал в моей спальне, и я хочу, чтобы так продолжалось впредь. Снимай пока штаны.
I imagined myself standing in front of Polina in just my underwear. I imagined her bending down to treat my wounds. That fantasy scalded my mind like hot steam.
Не надо, Полин, ну правда.
Here we go. She didn't listen, just soaked a piece of cotton in a brownish liquid from a small, strong-smelling bottle.
Пациент, я готова. Спускайте.
Серьезно, дома промою.
My reply erased the smile from her beautiful lips. A horizontal wrinkle ran across her nose bridge. She spoke in a voice with a tinge of capriciousness.
Перестань сопротивляться. Дай я тебе помогу.
She rubbed my leg lower than where my wound was.
Девочкам нельзя отказывать.
I don't know, I'm still getting like even stronger feeling that Polina and Alisa are one person. Polina took a bold step toward me and grabbed the buckle of my pants belt. I tried dodging, but to no avail. The girl was already behind me. She placed her fingers under the belt and tried to pull down my pants.
Ах ты ж...
He giggled. I spun around and Polina pressed her body into mine, bursting with laughter. She sank her teeth into my arm ever so slightly and tugged on the belt. I stepped back, stumbled upon the couch, and ended up sprawled on its soft surface. Polina landed on top of me. So far, exactly the same. I really hope at least like the ending of this part will be somehow different. Her hair covered my face and tickled my nostrils. I felt the vibrations coming from Polina's chest. She was laughing. I also felt the chilly draft with the exposed skin of my thighs. She managed to pull down my pants. After all, I lay underneath her partially naked, dying from embarrassment. Polina pulled away. Her laughter died down. She blew a lock of hair away from her face and looked me straight in the eye, then pressed her small fist into her cheek and measured my face with a thoughtful
Ты
glance.
чего?
Ничего, красивый ты.
Скажешь тоже.
Честно-честно. И знаешь, мне кажется, что я все эти годы ждала, когда ты в поселок приедешь.
My heart was stomping in a crazy rhythm. I felt it under my ribs, in my temples, all over my body. I completely forgot that I was lying underneath her without my pants on, rubbing my bare thigh against her leg.
Мне хорошо с тобой.
И мне. Я встретила человека, который меня понимает. Это дороже скрипки Гварнери.
I shifted my gaze to her lips. They were so close that I could see even the tiniest of wrinkles on their surface, just as parched as my own lips. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, this is actually pretty romantic. Well, they did that well, so. First love and stuff. Polina lowered her eyelids, eyelashes fluttered. Our lips touched. And I felt dizzy as if I was falling into a bottomless pit. Every cell in my body sank in jubilation as if I was getting a taste of the most beautiful music, something even more perfect than Schumann's melody. And then I looked in the mirror, mounted on the wardrobe's door. It deflected a half-open door, and the corridor's gut. Periton was peeping at us through the crack. God, he's so creepy. Okay, his green face floated in the black waters of darkness. His eyes pierced me, much deeper and angrier than feline claws. After getting his cover blown, the old man drove back, away from the door, and dissolved into tarry shadows. Okay, so now I kind of hope it will go a bit different, but probably not. I parted my lips from Polina's distraught. I had to interrupt her sweet kiss. Polina gave me a questioning look and spoke in a frustrated voice.
В чем дело?
I untangled myself from her, stood up, trying to put my pants back on, and fastened the belt on my third attempt.
Ни в чем.
Yeah, he's gonna ruin
Я
it
вспомнил
completely.
просто. Пообещал маме вернуться к ужину.
Не уходи,
Полин, послушай.
не уходи, Тош.
Her voice trembled. Silvery streams ran down her cheeks. I still wonder why she reacted like that. I was taken completely by surprise. Polina's mood shifted in an instant, just like topics in her grandpa's monologue. Still, her grandpa was old and weird, and she...
Забери меня с собой.
Ты чего, Полин? Ну перестань.
I leaned into her, worried.
Ну, хватит, правда. Все же хорошо.
Я здесь с ума сойду. Не знаю, руки на себя наложу.
Не говори так.
She flopped on the bed, face in her hands, sobs turned into stifled cries. I shuffled my feet, puzzled, with no idea how to react.
Давай сбежим. Завтра же соберем вещи и уедем в город.
Нам по 12 лет.
И что? Тебе нравится жить в хибаре у леса? А мне, думаешь, по нраву гнить, заточенный в 4 стенах?
Her back arched. Her small fists pummeled the couch.
Если ты мужчина, уведи меня из этого места!
Let's see if it's actually gonna be any different. You need to leave, my inner voice blurted out. I couldn't help but agree.
Прости, тебе надо отдохнуть. Поговорим позже.
Oh god. For the second time saying the same thing, I'm kind of disappointed in him. Too bad it's actually the same. I went into the corridor, mumbling. I might have acted like a coward, but I couldn't handle her fit of hysteria anymore. I put on my coat, shoved my feet down my boots. Bro, you just failed your first test as a man. I stared at the darkness, imagining a man eating bear. I could hear Polina's cries coming from the other side of the wall, while something was squeaking its way toward me. The wheelchair stopped 7 feet away, on the border between light and darkness.
Уходишь? Так быстро?
Yeah, he could have stayed if you weren't looking at them. I replied in a mumbling voice while tying my shoes.
Простите, мама будет беспокоиться.
Ты знаешь настоящее имя своей матери? Петров, Антон.
Okay, yeah, I kind of wonder, is there any meaning behind this conversation as well? Shadows swirled behind Khariton. I craved to leave this eerie place as soon as possible.
Нет, простите.
I started apologizing left and right, anxious.
Почему плачет Полина? Что случилось?
Bro, you just should have given her a hug, come on, and explain. I feel bad for her. Metal teeth shined in the dark.
Пойдем на кухню. Чай пить будем. Я тортик разрезал.
Suddenly, there is an option to go with him and eat the cake.
Меня ждут.
Подождут и перестанут.
Actually,
Ну, пойдем.
Actually, he didn't say his mom is waiting. He said, I've been waited. Like, someone is waiting for me. And I think I know who is waiting for him. He let out a dissatisfied sob. I finally managed to fix the shoelaces, so I sprang to my feet. The old man kept a strenuous smile on his face. I turned my back on him. My fingers struggled with the lock.
Скарлы!
I'll be forced to stay. Driven over by a wheelchair, dragged away.
Скарлы!
Oh man. This is so silly. The door opened, letting chilly air inside the stuffy corridor.
Как твое настоящее имя?
Too close.
До свидания.
Okay, so last time I finished here, but I will continue for a bit more. I flew to the porch, to the trail that snaked between the houses. While I was at Polina's place, darkness had shrouded the village with its claw-like wings. The howling wind made it feel alive, conscious. Lamplights firmly embedded into the night emanated a faint glow. I whipped my forehead. What was that? Why did Polina throw such a tantrum? And the old man who was peeping at us? No wonder she wanted to run away so badly. Well, you the one that ran away. As soon as I remembered Khariton's metal teeth, goosebumps started running all over my skin. And here he is. I'm holding my fingers crossed that it actually goes differently now. I mean, he still, like, Anton has this amulet that Polina gave him. So, I don't know, maybe it can protect him a bit, but, well, we'll see. I shuddered and looked around. A fuzzy silhouette appeared near the
Кто
fence.
здесь?
Who's there? The person stepped toward me. Into the ring of light, my soul almost left my body. I recognized Romka. His cheeks were wet and his eyes reddened. He cried while hiding in the dark.
Ну, привет.
Well, hello there.
Разве я не предупреждал тебя, а?
Yeah, this one is different. But let's hope that Anton here knows that Romka is dangerous, so he will be actually cautious and run away. I warned you before, didn't I?
Разве не говорил, что убью, если увижу рядом с ней?
I said you'd be dead if I ever saw you near her again, didn't I? Here we go. I heard the click, saw the shine of a butterfly knife. Rama's bloodless lips stretched into a scary grimace. His pupils glinted like a pair of coins.
Ром, убери нож.
Rama, put away the knife.
Думаешь, я псих? Я покажу тебе, что делают психи.
Think I'm crazy? I'll show you crazy.
Рома,
I backtracked, afraid of turning my defenseless shoulder blades toward him. Roma advanced toward me, scowling.
Жалкий ублюдок!
You scum. White bubbles formed at the edges of his mouth. He wiped off his face with a jerky motion, smearing the tears all over his cheeks even more. His eyes glazed over with the fog of hatred. The claw amulet I got from Polina saved me once again. It felt like time ground to a halt, and both Romka, with his dangerous knife, and I were frozen in it like insects inside an amber shard. Run, my inner voice signaled to me. Save your skin.
Жалкий грязный ублюдок!
Pathetic filthy scum. And then he hurled his desperate voice upward toward the sky, toward the stars. Like here he actually might be talking not about Anton, but about himself. Romka put the knife handle into his mouth like a cigar, clutched it in his teeth. The blade pointed outward like a steel claw. Then he fell on all fours. His shadow took on the shape of an angry beast. Saliva dripped to the snow. Okay, here we go. Romka went completely mad. He roared and lunged at me, using all four of his limbs to jump. Run. I ran without looking. My boots sank in the snow. The wooden fence flew past me. The noise was so overwhelming that I felt like some beast, and not boy my age, was chasing me. A horrifyingly huge beast. The wind whipped my face, stinging it like nettle leaves. I was suffocating. Tractor stood around the corner, but I couldn't see its driver anywhere. Wait. Something agile jumped over the trail and landed some distance away from me. The snowy barricade stood in my way. I climbed it, slid down, and rushed into the back alley. Lamplight shimmered in a panic. I noticed the village shop and ran toward it. Then grabbed the doorknob, locked. The back alley was reflected in the window. Something huge and terrifying was closing in on me from its depths, shrouded in a snowstorm akin to a burial gown. Okay, this is kinda the same place he went after he took the candies. I ran to the cleared out strip of asphalt. Okay, was this all? Dogs in the front yard didn't bark, they just whimpered sheepishly. I turned around the last house and ran out of the village. The forest towered over me like a giant black monolith. I had a choice. Either I run to the clearing where I'll be sitting duck, or I'll run straight through the forest with its windfall and ravines. I choose the second option. I jumped to the side. My leg slipped on a patch of ice. I fell into a ravine. Convulsing, I struggled to turn on my back and started crawling away, expecting Romka to appear at the top at any moment. An inhuman roar swept across the village, drilling into my ears. A minute passed, then another one. I trembled, staring at the ravine's edge into the inky brush strokes of pines. That's a wolf. Into the approaching shadow. The boy in a wolf's mask appeared from the forest and stopped in front of me. That's Romka's knife. Friend. He unclenched his fist and a butterfly kind fell. That's probably the knife, right? And the butterfly knife fell to the snow.
Тебе ничего не угрожает. Мы же говорили.
You're safe. We told you. Remember? But on Alice's route, You actually didn't. What's going on? I stood up, barely able to believe my eyes. The wolf boy waved his hand toward the clearing. So, I guess Romka was either beaten, or he's actually dead, taken away, or nah, there's no way that wolf is actually Romka. That makes no sense.
Все в порядке. Иди.
It's all right. Go. I was too scared to ask questions. So I just walked away in silence, stumbling among the swaying trees, trying not to think about the lumps of darkness that were seeing me off, hiding in the bushes. At that moment, I had no idea what was actually waiting for me in the place I mistakenly called home. Okay. I will finish this part here. And to tell you the truth, I'm actually like slightly disappointed because it seems like there's not much new stuff going on. We had the first scene when they left the school, the interaction with Romka and Vyasha, and then the different meeting with Romka afterwards. I'm happy it's different now. All of that makes sense, but still, like, it seems it's going to the same direction. So, hope you enjoy that. Take care and see you next time.